Okay, so another aspect of budgeting is making choices, hopefully sensible choices. So sometimes it is just a matter of choice. So for example, Amy is shopping. She has a budget for the day of £75. And here are some things Amy could spend her money on. So she can spend it on shoes, on a dress, on a hoodie, on a phone case, on a bag. At least 3 things that Amy can spend her money on. So the only thing you have to watch out for here is that she doesn't go over her budget. Apart from that, there's no right or wrong. So actually, you can look at adding up the first 3 things in the list. So the shoes, plus the dress, plus the hoodie. But if we did that, shoes plus dress plus the hoodie would be 55 plus 27 plus 19. And that comes to £101. So she is not going to buy that. And if she decides she's going to buy the shoes, then even if she chose the other 2 cheapest things, the hoodie and the phone case, so that's going to be 55 plus 19 plus 15. That gives her £89. So again, she can't afford that. So what it boils down to is she can't buy the shoes. And actually, she could buy any other 3 things. She could probably buy more than 3 things. But the question says list 3 things that Amy can spend her money on. So we'll list 3 things that Amy can spend her money on. So I don't think that she's going to wear the dress and the hoodie together. So let's go for the dress, the phone case and the bag. Dress, phone case, plus bag. And that comes to £27 plus £15 plus £24. And if I add that up, it comes to £66. Well within budget. She could probably actually add on the hoodie as well. Oh no, that comes to 85. She can't buy the hoodie as well. At any rate, if you're asked to list 3 things and stick within a budget, then often it will just be a case that you can choose any 3 things. However, real life isn't actually like that, or not very often. So let's look at Colin's monthly budget. So Colin is planning his monthly spending. He has a net income of £950. Lucky Colin. And this is what he feels he needs. So he needs to pay his rent, his travel costs, maybe he's going to work. He needs food, that's true. He needs to pay his bills. He says he needs clothes, and he says he needs a new bike. But the trouble is, if we actually add all of that up, we've got 450 plus 105 plus 150 plus 120 plus 115 plus 700. That comes to £1,640, which is more than his income. So he cannot have all of those. So I think we should have a look at this word needs. So he needs to pay his rent. He quite possibly needs to pay for his travel. Maybe we could say he could do some walking instead of travelling by train, but since we don't actually know where he's going, that's a bit difficult to claim. £150 for food, that's quite a bit. You could possibly reduce it a bit, but certainly it's something he needs to pay, and he needs to pay for his bills. Now, clothes. Undoubtedly he needs clothes. We don't want Colin to not have clothes. But you can, if you're going to spend £115 a month on clothes, you're actually spending quite a lot of money on clothes. Very few people suddenly find that the moths have eaten their entire stock of clothes one month, so they have to restock with clothes the next month, or they will have none. So actually, in general, that's not a need, that's a want. New bike. Well, that's probably not a need either. Maybe he needs a bike for his work, but he doesn't need a new bike for his work. You can buy second-hand bikes, they cost a lot less than £700. A new bike is a want, it's not a need. So, that doesn't mean it's wrong for him to want a new bike, that doesn't mean it's wrong for him to want new clothes, but you need to be able to distinguish what is actually a need and what is a want. If you don't pay your rent, then you don't have somewhere to live. You need somewhere to live. If you need to get to work for travel to work, then that's a need. You need to eat, you need to pay for your heating, fuel, etc. So let's look at the cost of the things he actually needs. 450 plus 105 plus 120 plus 150. Now that comes to £825. So he can afford the needs. So let's have a look. 950 minus 825. Equals 125 left over for his wants, for things he would like to have. So you can get a second-hand bike for £125. He could get himself a bike if that's what he really needs. Or you can say he's going to have to save up for his wants. So his wants, so that was his needs, his wants come to £815. So there are all sorts of different things he can do. He can start to look at making budgets, reducing the cost of his food, reducing the cost of his travel by doing some walking. He could ask himself, do I really want a new bike that much? Or you could look at saying, well, how much has he got left over each month? He's got £125 left over each month. So how long would it take him to save up for his wants? So that comes out at 6.52, but of course he doesn't get paid 0.52 of his income, 0.52 of the way through the month, so you'd have to round up. It will take him 7 months. To save. Okay, so the most important thing for you to take from this is the difference between needs and wants. So when you're looking at just general budgeting, you need to pay your rent, you need to pay any essential travel costs, you need to pay for food. You quite possibly don't need to spend £150 a month on food, but you need to pay for food and you need to pay for your bills. But things like clothes, a new bike, a new computer, a new phone, things like that, they're wants, they're not needs. And it's important that you understand the difference between that. And then once you've decided what are the wants and what are the needs, you can look at saving up over time to pay for the wants. And that's an important life skill.